All right, all right, all right, all right. What is up? How is everybody doing? Hey, y'all busting down the doors again? That's the way to do it. And get warmed up. Grab your drink, grab your snacks, your beverage. Live tonight. Table talk. Welcome everybody. My goodness. We got some people breaking up in here. Let's see what we got. My goodness. We've got 412 Lala is in the building. Good evening. Good evening. Miss Shrinking Sharon is in the building. Hello. How are you? Good to see you. Always good to see you. Always good to see you. Lisa Love is in the building. Lisa, how are you? LB Risha 87 is here with us tonight. Oh, Lord. All right. Pam Flaler is in the building tonight. Oh, we got some names coming in I haven't seen before. And that's always good. That is always good. Lets me know people are taking a peep at what John Q is doing on his channel. I appreciate that. I truly do. We got Gwen Thomas. I love this song. Papa was a rolling. Wherever he laid his hat was his. I know. I had to have that beat. I couldn't use the words though. I said, but I like that beat. And I said, I got to get a timer for that beat. There's got to be a way to work around it. And Boss Blake and I worked around it because we had some issues with it, and we just played a certain part of it and just had it play. But yeah, that's great. Thank you for being here, Miss Gwen Thomas. Monguss D is in the building. What's up, brother Hugh? Hope everybody had a good day. Miss Justice in Blue is in the building holding it down. Moderator. One of the prime moderators that covers my channel next to Miss Aquahoma. Leslie B. Oh, yeah. But thank you so much. Miss Carol Smith is in the building in blue holding it down. Thank y'all so much for showing. Marvin Atkins, what's going on from Pittsburgh, is in the building. All right, Marvin. Good to see you. Miss Lorraine Muhammad, peace and blessings. All right. Is in the building. Got my 8 balls and a rose. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Thank you for being here, Miss Lorraine. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. So I hope y'all had a good weekend. Oh, man. It's been busy, but I certainly had a great weekend. If you were running on YouTube somewhere and you banged into a good program that was on this weekend, the roundtable definitely had session 5. Solid stuff. We had a great time. Tonight we're going to have a conversation. For those that want to ask questions, make commentary, come up to the panel. Yeah, we're going to continue riding with that, because sometimes we get to a point in whether we're doing a live on a case or even the after party. Last night we had our first after party. How many of y'all were there at the after party? Type of 1. I know I saw some names up in there. I mean, we had a great time. We were kicking it, relax, just chilling, talking a little bit about this, talking a little bit about that, a little bit about the Kanika Jenkins case, and I had a great time. I'm still shaking loose from it because we ran from 7 p.m. all the way up into, oh my goodness, boss will remind me. I'm still trying to remember what time we got off. It was somewhere in the morning. I was like, oh man, we ran about 6.5 hours in total, and somewhere near there. Something like that. Monguss D was there. Yeah, Tamika Ward was there. Okay, Lisa Love. But she couldn't comment. Lisa was there. Yeah, we had a great time. Yeah, we definitely. And I love stuff like that. When content creators can come together and do some really awesome work. That took a lot, to go through what we walked through. But tonight we're going to be talking about that. And you'll be able to ask questions. This is Q&A tonight, conversation with our special guest, Miss 54 Keyz and Mr. Boss Blake. Oh yeah, we chilled last night. That's right, Hugh. We had some good times. Music was solid. Oh man, I enjoyed that. I truly enjoyed that. But I want to welcome everybody to tonight's special table talk Q&A with the round table. Oh man, awesome team, and it's growing with some solid YouTube contributors making moves behind the scenes with us that help to provide a lot of the material that we went over on all of the roundtable sessions. So we wanted to make some special time to have folks jump in and get in where you fit in and go over some questions, maybe some things you've thought about concerning the case we're covering, which is the Kanika Jenkins case. Miss Candy Can and Watch Out Squad is bumping through the doors right now. Hey, good to see you, brother. Watch Out. Always good to see you. That brother runs solid on the Kanika Jenkins case. Whenever that name shows up, zzz, he's doing some investigating. Is it real? He put his heart and soul into that case. We all did. Most certainly. Miss Candy Cane, how you doing? Welcome to Table Talk. I'm glad we're just getting started. Gail Thornberry is in the house. We're just getting started. Good to see y'all. Molly 13, my love, where have you been? Okay. No, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're able to make it. I know when we use these devices, we use them so much that sometimes they start acting funny. They freeze on you. They burn out, and all at the wrong time. At the wrong time. But I'm glad that hey, you're here. Yvonne Addison is in the building. Hello, Yvonne. Glad you can join us. Absolutely. We got a birthday in the house? Shrinking Sharon, we got a birthday? At Pam Flaler. Happy birthday, Pam. Happy birthday. Uh-oh. We got some October babies up in here? Well, I'm one of them. I know Boss is one of them. Yeah. Getting the Libras to step out tonight. Libras and Scorpios, that is. Because they're running in the month of October. Absolutely. Happy birthday, Pam. And good to have a special table talk for you for your birthday. Oh, your birthday was Friday. Oh, okay. There you go. There's another one. Miss Shrinking Sharon, happy birthday to you. Go ahead, lady. That's it. You're in the right place. So that said, you know what time it is. Let's get to it tonight on Table Talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you The John Q's Table Talk. Let's go. Here at Table Talk, everybody's opinions matter. Cause we only here for one reason, and that's the truth. Cue the truth. So many cases we've been facing, so many kids that have been taken. You got ours and you got on. Some more wells I just can't take it. We never see John hesitate. A hard to go you can't replace. So Table Talk gon' be the place where we break down all the basics. You don't need no reservation, open mind, a little face. That's why we work another case. Kids go missing every day. We know the news, they do they thing, but John gon' come through in the pain. But this is a show for all of us, so let us know just what you think. For Table Talk, it's time to go to work. Let the people know that John is going live. It's time for Table Talk. Yeah. It's time for Table Talk. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Mr. John Q. Y'all show him some love, man. Yeah.
Let's go to work tonight.
Boom. Welcome, everyone, for a special Table Talk Q&A with the round table tonight. Oh, it's good to see y'all. Great to have y'all join us. And we got some new people coming in. Okay, what is what it is? Good to see you. Good to see you. Now, how many of you have been following the round table? How many of you actually went from session 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5? How many of you have been following us? Type a 1 in the chat room. Just to give me a little bit of an idea of who's been following the round table. Let's see who we got going on here. Let's see what we got going on. All right, Gail Thornberry's been following us. Marvin Atkins is following us. Tamika Ward has been following us. 412 Lala has been following us. Carol Smith, okay. Shrinking Sharon. Mad Miss Hatter, much love to you and welcome. Okay, yeah, I've seen your name. What it is, what it is. It is what it is. Miss Justice has been following us. Miss Lorraine Muhammad has been following us. LB Risha 87. Okay. Miss Candy Kane has been following us. Sometimes I have to catch the replay. Yeah. Yes. Well, that's good. That's good. And I'm sure y'all have found that interesting, to say the least. It has been an absolute awesome journey to travel and work side by side with content creators who, of like minds, go to work to dig into a case and won't let up until we are all exhausted from digging into information. And that's one of the beautiful things of the round table. They ain't playing. And to go back and forth, because, we're independent creators, and to go back and forth with our ideas, our yeses, our nos, we'll hold off on that. It takes a lot to get through that, objectively, and doing it objectively. And no feelings on the sleeves, because we don't bring them into the room. And that's one of the wonderful things, to get down to the truth about a particular video or a picture or statement in that case. Because taking a look at it now for 5 years later has been a turnaround for a lot of us to revisit that case, to shake it loose a little bit, give it a little time to breathe, and then you can come back with a new perspective. You may have some things that have been floating around in your mind, in your book, on the table in a video somewhere that reminds you, oh man, I forgot to look into this. And that's what I believe has sparked a lot for me. That is um, to, hmm, let me see, let me see some things. I'm remembering some things I wanted to look at and look into. So making time for it, making time for it. 45 is in the building. All right. Definitely. Let's see. Gail, you need my help or you need our help? I need your help. Let's see what the commentary is here. I need your help. I caught a person lying about something really bad. Oh yeah, well, you're gonna find that too. Oh, you'll send me an email? Okay. Yeah. I find that predominantly we found it too. No doubt. It's out there. It's out there. And you can tell if it's been researched properly or not researched at all. And it's just a straight out opinion. A straight out opinion. Definitely. Miss Tanya L. Daniels is in the building. Welcome, Tanya. Welcome. So let's get the show running. My first guest. Oh man, working alongside this brother has been a privilege, not only for this particular program, but my other programs as well. And to have him as part of the team on the roundtable, the man asks the right questions and keeps you on point. Definitely. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up my brother and Mr. Boss Blake into the building. Mr. Boss,
What's going
welcome.
on? What's going on? What's going on, my brother?
Eh, like I said, I'm still shaking it loose.
Taking it loose, huh?
Still
Yeah,
shaking it loose, man.
yeah. We had a long one yesterday. We had a long one, but I enjoyed every bit of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Welcome, everybody. Mr. Boss Blake is in the house. Show him some love. Show him some love.
What's happening? Everybody in the chat, man. One love. Appreciate y'all for being here. Appreciate your love. Appreciate the support all day, every day. Y'all know how we rocking, man.
Oh, man. Did you get sleep?
Yeah, I got a little sleep, man. I got a little sleep. Not a lot, but enough.
But enough. Okay.
Yeah.
It's good to have you. Good to have you on a Q&A table talk. So, we can begin to, take some time now to go over specific questions and commentary and things of that nature. I wanted to make sure that we had that time on the after party last night. I know that was exclusive time for everybody to come in and, chill out, relax, and chill with us, you know.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, that was pretty cool for the first one. It was kind of intimate. It wasn't super packed, but the people that was there, we definitely appreciate them for sliding through and hanging out with us. Asking questions, you know, pointing out certain things, because we all in it for one reason, and that's to make sure this young lady get the correct justice. At the same time, we know the case been closed, but a lot of us just can't sleep because it just don't feel right. So y'all know how that go.
Right, right. Well, I mean, it hasn't felt right for 5 years now, you
Right,
know, 5 long years of, still wondering what happened to this 19-year-old that lost her life at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Rosemont, Illinois.
right. It's crazy because there's a lot of cases that have been through YouTube. Now, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. This is probably one of the longest running cases that I've seen ever. You know what I'm saying? Even though, like I said, they closed this case back in 2017, but people are still fighting because they just feel like something's not right. So salute to everybody in the J4K community that's still standing up for the young lady.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Yes, I don't have to correct you there, boss. I see it the way you do. It's a high profile case,
Yeah,
and for 5 years running, and a civil court proceedings is still ongoing today, to
right.
get some answers, to try to get some better answers than the answers that we have today on that case.
Absolutely.
Most certainly. I was there on both, but fell asleep on your boss. I had a busy weekend. Carol Smith. Okay. Yeah, we definitely had a busy weekend too.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
most definitely. Most definitely.
And I see that I think Carrie Ann, welcome. I saw you come in here. Good to see you. So, boss, I know that after now 5 sessions on the roundtable, I know you thought of a lot of different things throughout that whole case. You've really, I mean, to me, from my point of view, uh, were the catalyst in asking the questions that were of major concern to actually look into the case from a different angle. When you first started actually thinking about, processes and work ethics for the roundtable, what was some of the things that you expected? Here's what I'm bringing to the roundtable, from your point of view.
I mean, of course, my opinion, but with supporting, I ain't gonna say facts because you really can't have facts if it's an opinion. But I'm gonna explain to you why I see things the way I see it. And one thing I did expect, because we all are one individual and we're unique, we think differently. I expected for us to, have some different views on the case, and we ran into that a few times. And the way we handle it is epic because no one gets disrespected for what they believe in. It doesn't matter what it is, but one thing about me, you, and 54 is we always have our reasons and it's explained. So, it's great to be able to have those type of discussions while we do the research backstage. And you get to dig into each other's mind, and that's one thing that I love about it. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, because when I thought about it, I said, "Wow, okay, this is a major undertaking to go through all of our independent work, and then to sort through those things that we all had questions about,
Right.
to get to certain areas, and then to begin investigating those areas we had questions about and start digging from that starting point." And I know for me, that upper kitchen, that last clip they wanted us to see of her walking into that kitchen, that upper kitchen, walking through the belly of the kitchen and then going way, way, way in the back in the corner around the wall and disappearing, and the video was cutting out. I said, "Uh-oh, there's something wrong here." That always bothered me.
Yeah,
Always
most
bothered me.
definitely. Yeah, you knew that bothered me. I can't let that go. Um, Man, it just the thing of this whole case is the fact that for one, it was closed so fast, and it was so many things that we as content creators, not professional investigators or detectives, we can see, and we call bullshit, man. I'm sorry, I have no other way to put it. Just like I know everybody wonder about that cup that just sat in that kitchen. You know, Like,
Yeah.
you didn't pick that cup, regardless if it had anything to do with the case. You ain't bagged that. That's a problem for me, man. You know what I'm saying? Because think about when they find a body in the woods. Let it be some cigarettes laying around, cigarette butts, receipts, a potato chip bag. They bagging it. They bagging it. Why? Because it's potential evidence. It's things like that that we see that it feel like they just blatantly ignored, or they just didn't care. They just want to close this case. That's what I feel.
Yeah, I got that same impression too. And I fully agree. When you have a crime scene, before you're able to label it anything, I've always called a scene like that a crime scene. You have a deceased person at a location at a specific time. Law enforcement comes in. They're summoned to the location to begin an investigation as to the reason why that person is there.
Right.
So, yes, to begin taping out, marking off, bordering up, isolating a crime scene, it would be the first job. And then beginning the process of collecting your information, your evidence, witnesses, statements from people. Did you see this? Did you see that? And, what did you see? Where were you? What time was that? Begin digging at it. And yeah, if there was cans of soda, bottles over here, a napkin, a tissue, or anything in the immediate area where you have a deceased person, all of that is evidence. It could be part of the case, and until it's isolated properly, it's evidence.
Right.
I'm in full agreement with you on that.
And Humongous D, he put a comment in the chat that I think we all feel. Well, I know me and you feel this way. 54, she feel a little differently, and we gonna wait till she get here because she's running a little late, but she'll be through. He said, makes you wonder if she turned around and walked out. That's exactly what I think. That's exactly what I think.
Yeah.
Because there was no reason to cut that footage where you cut it. Because if, like I always tell y'all, if you pay attention, when they cut it, you can see her shadow approaching the like close by the freezer door. Because what I feel like she did, and this is what I feel like she walked past that freezer into that little back little room right there. I forgot what they call it.
Right,
Like
that pantry, that pantry room, yeah.
And came right back. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if she was lost. I don't know, because a lot of us feel somebody was back there. I can't prove that. But I feel like she turned around and was on her way back. And they cut it there. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, we know right outside of the kitchen, there's a camera that they say wasn't working. But when we see the pictures that was taken by the investigator, I think it was it which detectives was it? Was it Rose? Not Rose. Or was it?
Well, you had a number of you have Diakova was the lead detective.
Which one took the pictures?
Yeah, that's Sergeant Rose. Mm-hmm.
Rose. He took a picture of that camera, and it was a green light and a red light on. Now, I don't know the inner workings of the camera system, but to me, that says it was working. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And I thought I had a particular item loaded up here. So for those that are familiar with the kitchen, obviously everyone is. There is a certain angle I'm looking for right now that I wanted to share.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, about that particular closet area, because I've always had the thoughts of, well, she had to gone back here, in here. Maybe somebody was hidden back there that lured her back there, called her back there, summoned her back there in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
This young lady doesn't know the outline of that kitchen and how deep it is, how wide it is, where things are, and everything. If that was her first time at the Crown Plaza Hotel, so how would she know to go back there?
And Marvin, he had a question. I just want to quickly answer. He
Right.
asked, "Why do we think Monifa, Shemaya, and Bree was running through the parking lot?" Because they did. It's on camera. When it was time for them to take Miss Teresa her car back, you see them running through the parking lot.
Right. That was around 5,
Yeah.
10 a.m., I think.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing, Marvin, is we look at hours and hours of footage, man. It's crazy. You wouldn't, man. You just don't know. And I'm starting to see things that I never seen before because I've never looked at so much footage until the roundtable.
Right. And I'm still looking for that particular Pharaoh scan that Mr. Jacky Dragon did that holds that particular image nice and tight. I'll find it. I'll find it.
He says blue light, red light means on and recording. Yeah, I think you did research on that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And looking at that particular item, the detail of that. See if this is it. No, this is black and white. This is
so
grayscale.
why they were running, I think at that point, Miss Teresa was like, "Bring me my damn car."
Right.
I think she meant business, so they jetted up out of there because you can see them running to the vehicle at that time that John just mentioned.
Absolutely. Now, here was an item that I wanted to bring up. There was an earlier question. It is what it is. I've isolated your question. It was a very good one. Do the plaintiffs, Ms. Teresa, in this civil case have the map info now? It would be so helpful in the case, obviously, not just from the money aspects of it. Are you talking about the information that we're putting out? It is what it is. Are you saying our information regarding the maps that were shown in last night's live that were produced and created by Mr. Jacky Dragon? Because that was excellent. I love to hear you speak at John Q. Okay, Gam. Thank you. And let me see if I could do this because that was the most important part that we all three wanted to really do a deep dive on was that visual. She walked into this kitchen and it gives you the impression that me anyway, as she turned around, can't go out this way, and walk back out. On the verge of walking back out. And you picked out a very fine detail, boss, by stating that we see her shadow, gleam up against that cooler door, giving us the appearance that she's walking back
Right?
because we never see the door open.
Nope, not at all. And you just compare it to when the assistant food and beverage manager walked to it. That's what we was actually seeing. You seen how his shadow, you know, was reflecting on that wall next to where the door opens. You see the same thing right before they cut it. You feel what I'm saying? So,
Right,
I don't know.
right. And the second piece, and I'm glad you brought that up, the second piece that got me was that, wait a minute, where did he come from? Where did the food and beverage manager come from? He didn't come the way Kanika came.
Right.
And yet the police reports are saying that, this was the only way into that upper kitchen. I'm like, uh-oh. I said, my eyes are not deceiving me. And his approach to locating and finding Kanika where he found her. His stride, almost a nonchalant, I already know where she's at. Let me just take my time and casually walk back there straight to that freezer, R95. R96 is the external, the other freezer in that kitchen on the opposite side of the kitchen. We never see him look in there. He doesn't take a pause where the offices are to just peep the rooms, see if she was in there first.
Dead giveaway.
Yeah.
He walked to that cooler like let me go to my wine cellar and grab me a couple of bottles from out of here. Like, I know where I'm finna go at. It ain't like I'm searching, like I don't know where my wine cellar is. He walked directly back there. Just like you said, Skip. So many other places he could have went. Man, that was a dead giveaway.
Yes, it was. Indeed. But what I have on the screen, I'm just going to take this comment down so everybody can see. This layout was done and drafted up by Sergeant Rose, who was a technician taking the photos, and of course drew an outline of the upper kitchen. And I'm going to see if I can get it to a point. I'll do one better. Let me do this. Do one better. I think I have a specific shot of this.
All right, now
I know. I don't want to get into trouble tonight, right?
I'm trying to save you now.
I know. I did that, man, and we had our moments. Oh Lord. Now I'm not gonna live it down.
You're not. It's like this. Man, we have moments backstage. Y'all just do not know.
We gotta enjoy it though.
Yeah, it's fun though, man.
We gotta enjoy it though. I mean, that just came to my head when she was twerking in the lobby, and I'm like, and the beat worked with the bounce, and I said, okay.
Oh man.
Oh Lord, yeah, we had a moment with that one. I think Lisa Love, did you notice that he calls both the freezer and that drawing? Okay. Lisa Love, okay. But let me just show you something real quick. This was the map layout. I hope everybody can see that. And this is where we started from, to begin taking a look at what the police sketched out. And down here in this blue box area is the cooler and freezer unit. Okay. And this is the entire kitchen, the two tables, office area. Okay. And these are the R96 is right here. This is an open freezer door component just to show you that there's a door here. Okay. And then when you go through the wooden doors here, two door panels here, indicating a doorway, you have R96 over here in this area where that unused ice machine is in this area. But yet, if you take a look, he's got it all boxed off here. All of this is boxed off like this is an enclosed room as you enter it. You have this door to go to if you're going to the freezer, and then the double doors, push doors, to go out into the back dock area. Now this is the steps that he drew out to say that these are the steps that Kanika walked up. She came here, she did this, went through the push doors, went through the wooden doors. Now she's on camera because the camera is just about here on the wall, up high in the corner, giving us the impression that Kanika walked here, walked there, walked around the office area, swiveled and swayed, went back behind this wall here, and disappeared. Now here is an open area right here next to the cooler and freezer component that gives you the impression that this is a doorway. A doorway leading to where? Leading to where? And so I said, okay, I got to look in there. And he was able to, and now I'll go back to Jacky's model here. See if I can find it here. I'm just scrubbing through because he does identify that area just like I knew it. And I said, no, that's not a doorway. That's that pantry area. That's that closet area. You can only go but so far to get in here. I got you. I got you. I heard you. Give me just 1 second. Okay. All right.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm sorry.
Look who jumped in the building. Oh, yes.
I had to meet with my members, and we, the conversation kind of took off, man. I love them. So we just now wrapping up. I think some of them should be over here by now, and I told them where I was coming. I'm like, I got to slide over here, y'all. But yeah, I apologize. I do.
It's been working. We've been working.
Definitely.
Oh man.
Everybody, welcome. Miss 54 Keyz is in the building. Show us some love.
Hey, what's going on to the chat? What's going on, baby? Yeah, we just had a good conversation. And the ladies brought up some things that when I get with you guys backstage, we definitely need to look into.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, we be there. We coming. Okay. I'm trying to look for this exact location because it was something I had loaded up. I thought I had it here. And we're just taking a look at some items on the Pharaoh scan that Jacky Dragon put together in reference to, see if this is it. I'm digging through it, folks. I'm digging through it. Okay, that's too far. But good to have you, Miss 54 Keyz, on Table Talk. Q&A tonight on the round table.
Yeah, buddy. I appreciate it.
Oh, yes. We enjoyed ourselves so much on that after our party, after the round table party. Oh, that was awesome. 2.5 hours of explosive explosive stuff, and if you all haven't seen it, you gotta. We had a great time.
Yeah, and I was telling the ladies how we went through the songs that was being played in those lives, and I think that was very, very important.
Absolutely. I believe Jacky Dragon also, I was talking to Boss earlier, had just released a video pertaining to the 2 Facebook lives that we had discussed. Maybe it's in regard to what we said.
Oh, wow.
Regarding the music that we were able to identify, because I said, damn it, there's something not right here.
Yeah.
I was screen sharing all that time, right? Okay, so we're here. We're here. This is that area on the map that I just showed you that just looks like an open doorway. But this is a storage closet. It's a food pantry closet. You know, for supplies and possibly dry goods, uh, things of that nature. But there is no entrance or exit anywhere in this storage closet. And I heard out there that someone had said Kanika walked in here through this doorway and down a hallway.
I ain't never heard that one.
I said, no, that's not going to work for me.
And that just goes back to what we were just talking about. You know how we hear these things, and it's only because they don't have all the details.
Right.
They made these decisions without having all the details. That's the problem, and so that's why it's imperative that at the round table we bring out the details, so they can make an informed decision. Because I've heard that too, where it was like she walked straight past this and entered. I'm like, wait, how? I'm like, do you not know the layout? You couldn't know the layout if that's the conclusion you've come to. You couldn't know the layout.
Yeah.
So but again, is lack of information.
Yep.
Absolutely. So I said, no, that's not right. That is a closet. And once again, going back to details, it's critical. It's critical. This is a very huge case. Even today, it's still a huge, high-profile case where this young lady lost her life and was put in this refrigerator, cooler, freezer unit and left there.
So let me ask you this, since you're talking about that storage area, and I know Jacky Dragon and what he feels like why that map was drew that way.
Mm-hmm.
But how can you, if you're trying to deceive someone and make it seems like the end of that map is the end of the freezer and there's no storage room, why would you do that when, for one, you got the Pharaoh scan, for two, you got pictures where people can actually see? So do you really think he was trying to deceive someone with that map he drew, or he's not a good artist? You know what I'm saying?
All right. Or whether he was just going by memory and just pointing out those things that were most important to a degree and up to a certain degree.
Right.
And stopped. Maybe he just stopped here. Open doorway here. Okay, I'll draw it on the map. That's it. It had no relevance or to the case in a sense, because it wasn't a doorway, a walk area, a hallway back here. It was just empty. So I'll just leave it as a doorway, and we'll just focus on outlining the freezer unit, the tables, the room, the wall, size, dimensions, this partition here in the center of the room where we see Kanika just walk this way and then come back here. The office area. Okay, R96, the other freezer on this side. You can't see it behind this partition here. And how she got in here. See if I can do this. Because that camera, if I'm not mistaken, if I can blow it up, is right up in here. Right up in here. Now you can't see it, it's blurry. But it's up in here in this corner. Taking that angle in between the partition, the office, and the floor. And it shoots right back here to a certain point. I think it stopped right here where the Pharaoh scan tablet is, right here. But yet, that clip showed us a shadow on the exterior cooler door, like if she was coming back out. That was just my impression of it when I studied it, when I saw it.
Right. He asked the question, and I understand why he asked it. He said, "Isn't that considered a doorway?" You would think so, but there's no door attached to it. It's just an open space where you can get inside of the pantry area. I don't think that area has a door, do it?
Right. Well, I wish I had that shot. I'll look for it now. So
It
we
may.
can actually see, because that
Yeah,
shot.
I was about to say I don't think it was a door there. It was just a like you said, a doorway, but there's no door. You know,
It's not a
there's
door.
this opening. Yeah,
Right,
there's
right.
this opening there.
I found it. You know me. I was about to go deep, 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 deep. Here we go. Right here. Now we're in the closet.
Hey, baby girl. There she go.
There it is. No door, no hallway, no way out. All solid. This is the freezer component wall on the opposite side. The closet. And we have 1, 2, 3 hinges,
But no door.
but no door.
No door. Exactly.
I don't care nothing about no hinges. Ain't no door there.
No door here.
Ain't no door. It is what it is.
What is that? Is that like a breaker box right there?
Let me see. Come back. They've got a light in here, fluorescent.
It's to the left.
Here.
Not on the wall. Yeah, to the left. Yeah, see, is that a breaker box?
Looks like a light switch.
Well, that's just the wall. The wall is made like that.
Mm-hmm.
Taking like okay. That's
This is
the rest
the
of the freezer. Okay, I got you.
opposite side of the freezer unit.
All right, I know that.
Uh-huh. And I studied this. I think this was part 2 or part 3 of my series when I first started looking into this particular area, because I wanted to know what the hell was back here too. To get her so far back here, somebody had to be in here, hidden away, maybe in the corner, waiting for her. Hey, Kanika. Hey, Kanika. Come back here. Come back here. Where? Back here. Keep coming. Because they knew about the camera.
Linus got a question on the screen for anyone want to answer it.
Okay, is the objective to find the killer and why she was killed? Good question. I wasn't really looking to, I guess, find the actual killer, even though part of the investigation may lead you to maybe someone who had the opportunity, time, and motive.
Right.
I was trying to identify whys. Why did she come back here? Why did she come into this area of the hotel? What made her get to this point? Was she there before? Or is someone guiding her? All these different questions started jumping into my head, and I said, okay, well, we'll find out, because this was one of the main areas that she was last seen in, and everything grew from there, and that's just from my perspective. Great question, Larry. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Boss 54?
Me, you just can't make me believe she walked in that any freezer, and just froze to death and not was able to get out of there. I just can't believe that. So if I don't believe that, it's like, what do you believe?
Right. Yeah, I don't believe that either.
Somebody put her in there, whether they put her in there and locked in there while she was alive, or they did something to her, whether it was an accident or not. Maybe not. The intentions might not have been to kill her. I don't know. But somebody did something to her and put her in the freezer. I will say that.
I believe she was somewhere first. Like I believe that we're missing some details. I believe she ended up in that upper kitchen, but I don't believe that's where she was at first. So where she was, I mean, like I said, those are some of the details that we got to try to pull out, and hopefully we can, because I mean we 5 years in, but I feel like the freezer was where was the final spot, but I don't believe it was the first.
Right. Right. Yes, tonight live on Table Talk we have Miss 54 Keyz and Mr. Boss Blake and myself from the round table doing Q&A on the Kanika Jenkins case. So if you got your questions, it's time to drop them. Good to see everybody coming to join us for this special live we're doing. And here, also wanted to just share once again an area that we spoke about on the round table of that entire area. And this is mapped out brilliantly by Mr. Jacky Dragging, who gave us this floor plan. And this comes from a 1973 floor plan scale model, which was entirely different than what you see before you, that's for sure, which was shared on the live last night on 54 Keyz' channel, The Round Table, session 5, in the blink of an eye. And we covered some of the information that you see here before you. And this was a major concern because here we see everything isolated properly. We have a better idea as to this area here, which was the upper kitchen area, the office, how the floor plan was laid out, the freight elevator, the dock area itself, the kitchen dishwashing area, the steps. That's a doorway that leads to the parking area in the back of the hotel. And also, there is a door, exterior door, in this area as well that leads outside to the parking lot. Right after you pass the kitchen and dishwashing area, that there is a door in that area outside the building. I checked. It comes out as well. So that is an access point to the employees. Emergency fire emergency access point. Here you have the employee entrance, which is the main access point for employees to get through. But this was the area, the main area that we focused on, how it was laid out, because we kept banging into walls on some of the other floor plans, and other content creators, I guess, having their maps of the area, and that's a place of study. It was a place of study, major study, on how one was able to get from one location to the next in a logical, understandable, and reasonable way.
Yes, it was. And, that was, like I said, this is a big hotel. And I never really got into the map details like I have now. And just to see what we've learned, man, it's huge. It's huge.
Absolutely. And to all, once again, work alongside of contributing content creators such as Mr. Jacky Dragon, who spent hours reconstructing the 1973 map model floor plan to give us the details as 54 always said, it's the details. We've got to make it make sense.
That's right. And he did an awesome job, man. I can't thank him enough. I mean, yeah, because again, what he did, what he was able to create, that's not my area. I ain't gonna need to pretend like it is. I would never been able to do that. That's not my area. But that's why it takes, different content creators bringing their skills to the table, because that was huge. What he was able to do, like I said, a lot of people were unfamiliar with the layout, myself included. There were some areas I'm like, I don't know where that goes. I don't know what this is or that is. But when you look at this map, it was self-explanatory. It was like, oh, okay. It just put a lot of things in perspective for me.
Baby girl 8012. That the assistant food beverage manager, we don't know his name. We do not know this guy's name. I searched for that dude like a long time. I cannot find his name for nothing.
Yeah, because I always thought it was Lenny. We knew he was the assistant beverage manager, but I thought that was Lenny.
Right. But yeah, the guy who walked in, his name is not Lenny. The one who found her, his name is not Lenny. I don't know his name.
Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Justice. Thank you. And yeah, so, and looking at that, and wanting to understand, okay, this is upstairs. This is upstairs. And let's see if I have it. Yep. There's another map that Jacky Dragon did exclusively for the round table. All nice and clean. Areas identified. Footpaths, walkways, hallways, doorways, offices, conference rooms, bathrooms, you name it, on the lower level.
Yeah, and just and we need to let people know too that because he's very instrumental in the background. So if you haven't subscribed to his channel, you got to. He dropped jewels over there, and it's all business. You ain't gonna get nothing more than the business. That's it. And because some of us don't have time to, but his channel is full of information, full of it. I promise you're gonna learn something over there. So if you haven't subscribed to him, you might want to do that. You might want to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because he's updating his channel almost on a daily. Every other day, every 3 days, but you are getting updates constantly from Mr. Jacky Dragon right now, because he sees that we're serious about the round table, all the efforts that we're putting into taking a look, re-examining information and details as we gathered from the case in our earliest work independently, and now coming together with all of it, putting it all on the table and chopping through it. And as you can see here, he's outlined, and I'll go over this with you. If you haven't seen it before, I suggest you definitely look at last night's live. But just to give you an idea of what we were presenting, this was one of the main maps that we focused on the lower level in a blink of an eye. Yes, go ahead, boss.
My fault. I didn't mean to do that. I thought you had your settings where it'll sit down there. My fault. No, go ahead and finish what you was doing.
Oh, okay. Do I still have my the map up?
Yeah, I got it back up.
Oh, okay, cool. Kanika's walking the hallway in the lower level. The elevators, how far away from the steps and where the steps were, and what else did she pass on the way? But you could see, and Jacky Dragon did a great job by putting the footprints layout on the map. And this is the East Side Hall. And she goes straight up to the two double doors here. There's a hallway here, both left and right. Here's the East Kitchen entrance, 2 doors there, steps into the kitchen. East Kitchen, where we see her on camera. She swings into Kitchen 2, circles around. She's captured coming out of the kitchen 2 area, briefly seen the top of her head, coming back into kitchen east, and then heading out the side door area here. Now she's in this hallway on the west side. And according to the believed footpath by the Rosemont Police Department, she's captured in the lower level bathroom area here, where we now see her on camera. And she goes down this hallway, she bumps into the handrail of the staircase that was in front of her. She spins around in front of the airport conference doors where the escalator is, and then spins back around and goes in this direction, behind the wall. Now, behind the wall here, and I know because I've seen it on a photo, there are 2 doors where this staircase is, one on the left and one on the right. This is not a solid wall here. And I'm going to be further getting my comments and questions together to see if we can get this area identified and what those 2 doors over here near the steps are and where they lead in this open space. And I think we'll get more information out of that because of those 2 doors. I was thinking that the door over here where the water fountain is, this is where the water fountain is, right over here, around the corner from the men's room, that door, I said, wait a minute, is that another kitchen back there? Because it does have a see-through window. It's a vertical see-through window. And it just gave a very quick appearance that it may be a kitchen. I'm not sure yet. That's why I want to dig into that further and to see if we can get some more details put on the map as to what this location is and how it may connect to other areas in the surrounding area. Does it lead to this outside kitchen on the southwest corner where there are refrigerators in this area? Is there a connection? Are there doorways here? So, taking you back, she comes around. She goes into the men's room or the pocket doorway of the men's room area. We don't know if she fully went in, but moments later, she swings back around the corner, disappears again. And then she gets to a certain point here between the stairs and the corner of the men's room. Now she's caught on camera here from this location, where it appears as though Kanika was pulled back by her pants pocket and pushed forward. Because she looked like when she went to start stepping forward, she looked like she was going to fall, but then again, she caught her balance and straightened up. She's straightening out her clothes. She's flat. She's, running her both hands through her hair, coming back down this hallway to go back down the hallway, past the push doors. Now she's back where she started, in this area. And this is all a blind spot. We've got 2 cameras located in this area. One there about here, which faces a place called Chandel Avenue, and it covers this specific area here, which is a kitchen. Further to the west side. That's 1. 2 is a freight elevator down the hall. That camera was inoperable at that time as well. And so this whole hallway now has a security breach. It's a blind spot. So is this area here to the kitchen in the Chandel Avenue location. I said, wait a minute, they got to get too many cameras out down here. Oh man, this was the critical area because it made us believe that she came up these stairs, and that was hard for me. Because Gray Hughes said that it takes about 1 minute and 47 seconds to get up those stairs, and then by the time she enters the upper kitchen, 1 minute and 47 seconds had elapsed from the time that she was down here. Any thoughts on that? You really believe there's no camera in the escalator area? No, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, good question. Good question. I believe that there was, I don't know if it's on the main floor. Thanks for pointing that out, Hugh, because that's another question I had. I'm figuring there would be a camera located here near the escalator that would show this area. Matter of security. Just before you get down the hallway, where obviously there was a camera here next to this lecture room just before the East Kitchen. That's what we saw Kanika in the front of Kanika before she got to the two doorways. But yeah, both on the main and lower level. I'm wondering if there's supposed to be a camera right here that would capture this full area.
It should be.
Yeah.
Why we didn't
I
get
don't know
that
what
one?
map I saw it on. Yeah. So this is a work in progress. And Mr. Jacky Dragon is still working on this lower level and main level floor plan for us because he was able to bring to our attention an area I have never seen. And that's this area back up in here. I'm going, what? I heard about the laundry room area. Laundry rooms 1 and 2. I said, wait a minute, they got housekeeping back here? They got another kitchen back here? A maintenance department? 2 more freight elevators and a stairwell or staircase. It tells me something. Tells me something. That which is below can go above. That which is below is above. Can get to upstairs. Housekeeping back here. I said, wow. But I wanted to share that. And I'll just come back to you guys. Y'all gotten pretty quiet.
We here.
Now you were gonna present something, boss, before I got into the map and everything else like that.
It was just I just wanted to show what I was speaking on earlier.
Uh-huh.
With the shadow. Uh-oh. It was a shadow that went up against his wall, so I was just going to show that briefly. Now, of course, the beginning of this footage, is when the maintenance man comes in. Well, this ain't the one. Okay, move fast. So this is great. It actually goes straight to it. You just have to pay attention and look close. But right there, the wall that you can see right there next to the freezer. Pay attention real closely. You'll see that shadow that I was speaking of. Boom. And it disappears. I'll go back again just in case you missed it. Boom. So you can't tell me that from the point that she walks close to that freezer, you don't see a shadow until moments later. To me, that tells me that she went past it and came back. And as she was coming back, they cut the footage.
Yeah.
So that's all I want to show.
Yeah, that's what I saw, and I said, "Wait a minute, where's the rest of it?" There's motion still in this area, and it hadn't elapsed the 10-second delayed motion. So where the hell is it?
Right, that clock, the timer on the clock, man, I just can't ride with it because it's too inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I can't remember who it was who talked about the timer, the 10-second timer, and that is a setting that can be set on these cameras, but it's just not consistent throughout the footage that we see. So obviously somebody's been doing some cutting. You know what I'm saying? However you want to put it, cut. It's still an edit to me.
Right. Right. Hello, Just Mary. Welcome. So you jumped into the room here, but you had Chloe Alvera's comment here. There's another stairwell by those double door elevators. I have photos. Uh-oh. All right. See? And to revisit certain areas and now to see the full scope of what we just got finished covering, a whole lot more detail falls into place, more clarity falls into place. You know, you get to see additional areas you've never seen before fall into place. And then new questions come up. No, certainly.
Oh, Bath.
You said, where was it not 10 seconds? Several places. John, I remember, John, you brought up the upper kitchen. It was on before she even walked in the footage. You remember how many seconds it was?
12. I believe it was 12. The camera was on before we see Kanika ever enter that kitchen. That video just jumps into the upper kitchen. Nobody's in there. Yet the camera's on. No motion activated that camera, with the red boxes. It was just on.
Right.
And then we see, seconds into it, Kanika then appear to begin her walk through that kitchen.
Right.
You see, I said, well, the camera's on. Wait a minute. She's not even in the kitchen yet. So what motion was there before she arrived? Was my question. The camera activated, the sensory activated, and you'll see the little red box, and the red boxes are there to indicate motion. I was like, well, okay, the camera's on, but there's no red box. Where's the motion?
Right.
Why is the camera on? And we went back and forth with that. We did go back and forth with that, but yet it stands because you see it yourself.
And also in the dishwashing room, we see where it cuts from one time frame to another time frame, and nothing happens at all. No one appears, and guess what happens? It cuts to another one. Nothing happens. It cuts to another one. That don't make sense. How is that a timer and it's supposed to come on when something activates it?
Right.
Well, what activates it? Now, there's nothing in that kitchen that can do that. We know what we found as far as the wall, that there's a walkway that's behind it. That shouldn't activate nothing. So what activated it? It should cut to the next footage where someone is about to walk into that area. And I understand that. But that it's not consistent like that.
Right. I mean, and these systems work the way they are supposed to work. There's Vivotech cameras, whether they're running at 15 frames per second or 30 frames per second. The higher the number, the better the clarity, uh, the better the definition, the quality of the video. And so there are certain cameras that are of great quality, of great clarity, and then there are certain cameras that are a little bit, you know, like running slow. It gives you the appearance of different speed, different cameras, different locations running at different frames per second. Now, whether that's true, I just see that there's good quality in one area and then shoddy quality in another area. Like when she was down on that um, lower level East Conference, just before she goes into the East Kitchen, before the two push doors, that camera, that hallway was dark, if you remember. And we see Kanika still fixing her clothes. She's bumping off of walls and everything. And this is where she holds her head up higher, and we see her face as she walks past the camera. And yet, for that hallway to be so dark on that side, then we go to the other side down the hall where the lower level stair area camera is. That camera is lit up as bright. You can see the hallway, you see the conference area, everything is lit up. So, well, why is it bright on one end and dark as hell on the other?
And a couple of comments that was referred to, going back to what I was talking about. They feel like that means somebody was there and they cut it. If it cuts to a scene and nobody shows up, somebody was there, and that's the only way you can make it make sense for me. And going back to the 12 seconds before she appeared in the footage in the upper kitchen, it makes you feel like somebody was there before she got there. That's the only way that should happen. So shout out to Hugh, and I think Miss Kimberly D said the same thing.
Yeah. And with the time factor too, once Kanika was found and the Rosemont Police Department started their investigation, it was supposed to collect all this information. They left it up to the hotel to copy. Here we go. They left it up to the hotel to copy video surveillance footage and send it to them for their review so that they could write their incident reports up with. That was 2.5 days of time before they received everything. And I think they had to even go back again just to get the August 30th footage of the maintenance workers that were working there on that date. And I said, well, we got a 10-day gap between August 30th and September 10th, September 8th, 9th, and 10th. Wait a minute. Where's the rest of it? Security never checked this area within those 8 to 10 days? Are you kidding me? And if this kitchen is being worked on to be renovated for a restaurant, where are the workers?
All right.
Where's the motion of the workers that are supposed to be, taking this down, taking this out, pulling this over here, reconstructing over here? Where are they in that time period?
Miss baby girl AD12, I'll give you the answer that I have. She asked, what do you think about the video with the Crown Plaza housekeeper? He mentioned that Kanika was there at 12 a.m. And then backtrack. Well, if you look at his statement, he had the hours that he actually worked. For one, he was never there when they was there, if you look at his hours. But me just being a guy and him talking to this young lady who's recording him, he was flirting. That dude was flirting. He would say anything to have a conversation with this young lady. Not saying that nothing he said had any truth to it, but you see how when she hold on, you say 12 o'clock, you know, he kind of switched up and backpedaled a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he knew everything. That dude was flirting. That's just my opinion on that. For real.
Yes, Hugh, that's right. They got the footage little by little. Said, no problem. Take your time. Do what you got to do. I know you're busy on that side. When you're able to get it all together, just let us know and we'll come and pick it up. It's the kind of attitude I felt that was there. You know, it reminded me of the Kendrick Johnson case. The same thing happened with the school copying and collecting the video surveillance footage to send it to the police 5 days later. I said, damn, this is how they're collecting evidence now? This is the chain of custody that what is that, brand new now? You know, we'll come well look, you know, when you get it, send it to us.
Yeah. And then speaking of that, you know, breaking down the footage, man, if you ever seen this case file, they chopped this case file up so much. And what trips me out is what's the guy's name? We talk about him all the time, who disappeared off of YouTube, who had the multiple cameras on the screen at one time. What's his name?
Thriller Media.
Thriller Media. Yep.
I felt like that's how it should have been sent to Rosemont PD. You feel what I'm saying? And with that, of course, you know, it's probably would have still had some cuts in it because right now it seems like they can't be trusted. But at the same time, we could follow everything as it goes. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't how it is in that case file, man. They got some footage that's seconds, some that's a few minutes, and then some that's hours. You know what I'm saying? And I don't get that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was my first big problem as to how the Rosemont Police Department, Public Safety Department folks collected that information. And then the interviews was another major portion of the case on how they were able to interview each of the folks that obviously showed up in the case files and the time they took to interview certain people in and around the time that Kanika obviously was found. And I said, wait a minute, you know, the same thing with the video now, you know, two here, a couple of days go by, they're able to make a phone call. Look how they contacted Cocky. They had an interview with Cocky, who came with Smack's group, okay, it's of 6 guys who came almost, what was it, 2:45, something like that, something before 3 in the morning, and they had a phone interview with this guy. Not a face-to-face, in-person, let's go to our, you know, a meeting room over here and let's ask you some questions about the night you were here at the Crown Plaza. Over the phone, folks. I said, okay, I'm sitting here scratching my head and I'm going, all right. So they're just collecting information to put in their report so that they can close that file, close the case. Because I believe that they had everything wrapped up from September 10th, the time they found her, and wrapped the case up in the month of October. In and out, boom. Accidental death. Cause of death, hypothermia, with contributing factors of topiramate and ethanol in her system. Ta-da, wrapped it up. I said, no. And then what they gave us to review was absolutely mind-blowing. Well over 4,000 independent video clips of large capacity to look at. They're not going to look through all that. All of these written interview statements that the police had gathered up. They're not going to read all that. Less than 3%, less than nearly 3% of the folks read anymore because everything is online. They're not going to read all that. And no one wants to see death scene photos and all this other stuff, but we'll put it up there. But they're not really going to touch base on that. Oh, really? But it's a lot. Yeah, Cocky was out of state. Yeah, Wisconsin. I think that's where he came from. He took a trip to go to that party, turned around, and went back home. That was even a quick ride. Yes, baby girl. It was technically out of state. It's like, okay. No arrests. And the only two re-interviews in the case file was the food and beverage manager and security. And their interviews were strange. And I think that Miss 45, who's in the chat, had asked whether we could show, I think she's talking about the security guard that we showed that time where he came from the right, went to the left in the dishwashing area, and then came back and popped up in that dishwashing area.
Yeah, he did.
I think carrying what we believed from a visual, a flashlight, but we didn't see the light on the floor while he was swinging his hand. Is it a flashlight? Is it some kind of security detex monitor? Now I know for New York, when they have different secured areas, in order to determine how security checks these areas, they have to record each area. I used to use clocks, detex clocks. Now they have wands, cards, all kind of different things. But it was a strange device that he had in his right hand walking through that area. And I said, what is that, a flashlight? We were sitting up here, is that a flashlight? Because every time he swung his hand back, we caught it. And then when he swung his hand forward, it disappeared. It's like, what the hell is that?
I didn't know what that was. But then in that one part, it looked like maybe a card, like like a guest key or something like that. I don't know, but
yeah,
we caught it with him walking from the right to the left.
Mm-hmm.
But then when he comes back out, I mean, it has this bright light like a flashlight. I'm so confused.
Yeah. And if you notice the time, look at the timestamp on that. This is 9:10, 11 minutes after 12. 12 minutes, 12 to 13 minutes, give or take, before Kanika's found. Before Kanika's found. So security was back there, close to the time. I'm saying, okay, he didn't see nothing? He didn't know that child was back there in that upper kitchen at that. Oh my God. Did he go back there to check that kitchen? No, they avoided that area, it just seemed like, up until the time she was found by the food and beverage manager. Said, no, I secured that area already. Leave that area alone and just continue your rounds in the dishwashing area, the kitchen areas, the conference rooms, the hallways, and everything else. I got that area covered. He may have been told that. He may. And that's just me. That's just me. To avoid going in that area to check it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because Teresa Martin's lawyer believes that somebody inadvertently locked that kitchen door and locked Kanika in it.
And I
Hence
still want to know where they got that detail from.
that information from, right?
Like where, I mean, are we looking at the and that's why, I was telling you guys, are we looking at the wrong footage? Because they told us that somebody went back there at 10:30. We don't see that, but it's in her lawyer statement
Let me
that
ask y'all.
somebody was back there, an unidentified employee, on top of everything else. So I'm like, well, at this point in the game, they should know who was all working. So you mean to tell me you still have an employee unidentified? Or are we talking about maybe a contractor or somebody who works there but don't work for Crown Plaza? That part just it didn't make sense to me. And for them to say that somebody was back there at 10:30, like where? I mean, we done been through this footage, and there's no one in that upper kitchen at 10:30. Not a one.
Let me ask you this: since you said that, do you feel like the beverage manager went through the way he went through because that door was locked at that time he went in there and found her?
I mean, that's possible because when you go back to the 8:30, where the maintenance guy goes in there, he said he only went in there because the door was open more than usual. It was open more than it was the night before. So maybe he locked it
I was
coming up
just,
out of there.
just
You know what I'm saying? Maybe because he knew it was supposed to be locked, or so maybe he locked it when he left out because he left out the same way he came in.
Mhm.
exactly. I was just gonna say that.
So maybe if the beverage manager, maybe that's why he had to walk his fat ass where because he couldn't get in that way. You know what I mean? So he came in through another way.
Yes, you're welcome, Miss 45. You're welcome. Because that was a a very interesting point, and I said, "Wait a minute. This guy came from the right side, but we never see him enter that dishwashing area like all the other employees. Where the hell he
Yeah.
come from?"
Where did he come from? Miss Beauty so
With the fat dude with his clothes.
Miss Beauty silly.
Looking stupid. Yeah. Yeah, hey, Hugh, I was just gonna say that. Isn't the locks on the outside? So how did he get out of there? Because he went the way that Kanika came in. So how did he get out?
Got to say that.
Mhm.
Got to say that.
You know what I'm saying? I was just gonna say that.
Yep. You're right about that. Yeah, that's a detail. So yeah. So maybe it wasn't locked. So maybe the maintenance guy, when he went in, he just walked back out, like, oh well, and kept it pushing. But I mean, then it still put the focus back on the Bev manager. I mean, that means he never tried to get in that way. So where did he come from?
Mhm.
Because he did go out that way. That's a fact. I mean, we saw it. We saw
Right.
it.
The most suspicious people to me in this case, outside of that room that they was all in, is the beverage manager, France Cave, and the cop. Walsh.
Mhm.
They're the most, they the most suspect people to me.
Yeah, they are stuck on the table.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Solid. They are stuck.
Yeah.
And once again, too, the excellent job that 54 Keys did on tracking that food and beverage manager on
Yeah.
her channel. You did two parts
Yeah.
on that, and I can imagine what was going through your mind when you were putting all that together. So you know who we need to focus on? The food
Him.
and beverage manager.
Him. Like I couldn't let up. I couldn't let up off of him. And to this day, I still can't let up off of him, because like I said, I'm one who believes that he knew where she was. Now I'm not saying he put her there. I can't say that. I don't feel like we have enough details to say that. But I mean, you only got a couple options. Either one, he put her there. Two, he saw maybe on camera who put her in there. Or three, somebody told him where she was. And either way you cut it, he knew something about something.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Bingo.
Ain't no other way to cut it. So I'm a forever be on his ass. That's it. That's it. That's it. You know, you can't exclude him. You can't. Because I mean, we saw the movement and he went straight to her.
And think about it. Think about it. Two of the three people I named don't work there no more, and ain't no damn telling where the hell they at.
See, that's crazy. That's
And
crazy.
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Really.
especially too on how I think it was a second interview that they did with security. And I said, "Uh-oh, did they find something?" And for him, the security guy, Francis Cave, whatever. um,
Yep, Kim, you know where I'm at with this.
for him to have answered that he was leaving the country on September 22nd,
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Wait a minute,
That was the 29th, I think.
how they
And
gonna let
the
this?"
thing of it is, honestly, in the beginning, I never really focused on him. You know, his movements didn't seem suspect. But as time went on, especially even now with doing this roundtable, I've seen some things where I'm like, wait a minute. They had me on pause. I never really, focused on the security guard because, like I said, I worked in hotels and I've ran the security guards the way I seen him run it. And I just felt like, they were trying to keep him away from what was happening. But oh man, I've seen some things now that made me rethink my position on him.
Right.
And it bothers me. And I know some people, some of y'all was on his ass long. I wasn't. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't. The beverage manager was he was it for me. He was it. I'm like, he holds the answer,
Right. And that's
so but like I said, lately I've seen some things about the security where I'm like, this don't look right.
Yeah,
It don't feel right now. You know what I mean? It don't feel right.
and
that's a
also
good.
for him not to engage, which I found very, very strange. Not to
Mhm.
engage with the Rosemont Police Department once they got there to do their search. He was walking all around them in opposite directions, never engaging with them as security should have engaged with the
Right.
police to let them know of his security tour. His security tour. Could you walk us through? Could you walk us through your security tour to show us where you go during your tour and what you check? Maybe that'll help us to uh, find her.
And then, when it came to the statements, they interviewed them two twice.
Hmm.
Security and the beverage manager.
Right.
So maybe they were suspecting them two up to something, that kind of thing. But I wanted to Hugh's comment. He said there's a barn door latch on the inside of the wood doors and just a zip tie on the outside, which did nothing. I agree with that.
Uh,
But then with that detail, then it is possible that um, you know, I mean, maybe he did. Maybe it was latched from the like I don't know. All I know is that he came from one side and left out the other way.
hmm.
In one statement he said, "Oh, I thought the police was behind me." Then in the next one, he like, they was at the dock area. And I'm like, wait, so you knew they was at the dock, then why would you tell us you thought they was behind you? Like, it just was lie after lie. And it was like, lie for what? The
Well,
truth don't change,
yep.
That's right.
That's right.
you know? So
And
that whole wooden door, like, yeah.
that wooden door, and you said it. You know, um, if she was placed in there like we believe that she was, evidence of that is there
Mm-hmm.
with the buckling of her jacket underneath the arms. The jacket is raised up her back and laid in that corner. And they closed the wooden doors and didn't lock the freezer door, but closed the wooden doors and secured it just like we see on the video, where they used a zip tie to prevent anyone from going into the kitchen until they were ready, until they had their story ready to go from there.
Right.
Just a thought. Just a thought.
Yeah. Because I believe she was hidden back there.
Yeah.
Not walked back there. She was hidden. They were
Mhm.
hiding her. She wasn't supposed to be found. That's and I feel like, even if, because I'm a firm believer that she was moved. So it was like, first and foremost, move her for what?
Mhm.
And then it was they had to put her somewhere to hide her. And I think that was the whole purpose of that that freezer in the far corner. Nobody was supposed to be back there. And the fact that when you go to the manager, I mean the maintenance statement, he said he only went in there because the door was open more than usual. It was open more than it was the night before, which means somebody been in there, but they're not on tape. Where's that footage? Where's that?
Right.
And I did. AAP, I did. Yep. And I remember it like it was yesterday. That's why I won't let him go. Because he's key. That's my opinion based off of what I know, what I've seen, what I've read. That's my opinion. He's key to this. He can. I feel like he can give the details needed to push this case along.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And just going back to the statement and how it changed, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. There's a lot of things that were suspect that I felt like they just ignored. Like, if you got his statement written down in the case file, you can compare his statements and you won't realize, okay, this don't match. We need to go holler at him again. Or when you realize that he told you something different from the first statement, you supposed to drill his ass. Excuse my language, but and I don't mean to go to this point, but it's the same thing with Lenore's statement compared to what she said on that TV interview. You know what I'm saying? It was two different things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how are y'all not questioning these things? I'm not saying she's the suspect or anything like that, but these are just things that stood out to me. Like, y'all should investigate this shit a little more.
Right? They didn't. Nope, they didn't. Wonder why?
For real.
I mean, and I guess the fact that, for me, the fact that the police interviewed the security guard and the beverage manager more than once, I felt like they thought something was wrong with their statements, with their movements.
Agreed.
And so, but if I think that, then I would have to assume that they're not in on it. You understand what I mean? So it's kind of like a double-edged sword because some people believe the police helped cover this up, and now I'm starting to think that maybe some were involved, but not all of them.
I think it's one. I think it's one that was involved. I really do. Yep.
Yeah.
Because he moved totally different from them. You know what I'm saying? We watched that footage, and when they were searching, you never seen him with them.
Yeah.
But he's the one that the beverage manager go find and tell. You know what I'm saying? That don't make sense.
Kim said there were reasons why they questioned them twice. In a sense, I believe that there's a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason, and we saw when we broke down those statements, we saw the discrepancies within the statement. We saw it. So, I mean, maybe for them it was more like, how can we prove it? Because they at that point had butchered. I feel like had butchered the footage. I mean, it's one thing to suspect that somebody did something, but you got to be able to prove it. Maybe that's what they lacked. They couldn't prove it. But the fact that they interviewed them more than once made me feel like that they had their suspicions.
Yeah, like they knew something.
They knew something. Yeah.
They wanted to come around the corner a second time and double check just to cross the T's and dot the I's for their report And I don't believe in that statement. They ask the relevant questions, the pertinent questions that should have been asked. And one of the things that I found very strange was the fact that the security log, there's always a security log that's involved with security work, wasn't a part of the case file. On any complaints that happened that night, nothing. They didn't
But he
include
told
that
him
in
that
the
he
case
didn't.
file.
Didn't he say something like? I mean, I guess they was asking him about these incidents, these noise complaints and things like that, and he was like, "No, basically, like I only document it if it's a big deal."
If it's a
And they
big
like, "Well,
deal.
what the hell do you consider a big deal?" He couldn't tell him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but what was clear to me is that he documented nothing.
Zip.
They didn't have that. They didn't have that information.
Especially on 2 complaint calls pertaining to the same party that this young
Mm-hmm.
lady went missing from.
Mm. That's why I feel like, to me, all of those details is what make me feel like Miss Teresa she gonna walk away with something. She is like you. I mean, they messed up. They messed up all the way around. All the way around. They messed up. Just like I couldn't understand how you didn't went up there. Like I said, I've done night audit before. If I go and you smoking weed in the room and this, that, and the other, like you got to get out of here. They didn't do any of that. They let them keep partying. They done told them to cover up the smoke detector, all that. Like, wait, you can't do. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Wait a minute. You got underage drinking
Yep.
in
They
your
let it go.
establishment. You
Yep.
got drugs on your establishment, and you mean to tell me that not one thought in your mind said, "Oh, we got to call the cops. We got to break this up."
They didn't do any of that.
Nothing.
They let them go.
And that's why
They let them
Zach.
keep partying.
That's why Zach was like, "Oh, so they wanted y'all there." You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. And that's what I found extremely strange, suspicious, and just way off of protocol for the
And then
hotel.
let me just say this. Let me put this out there. Because like I said, I've done night audit. I've told y'all that for years. And the fact that we get these employee discounts, right? So, my family will come in town. I let them stay. I know some of them smoke weed, some of them drink. Them would be the ones I give a pass. And I'm just being honest. I know that's what they're doing. I might tell them, like, look, you can't smoke in there, you can't, but some people gonna do what they gonna do. Them would be the ones I give a pass. That's why I always had my eye on the front desk guy. Because it's like if you don't know them, I'm not giving no passes for some people I don't know.
Right.
I'm not gonna put my job on the line for some people I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
You understand what I'm saying? But they did. Like, so it made me feel like either the guy at the front desk or security, somebody knew somebody part of the party. You understand what I mean? That they was just kind of like, let them go. They good.
Boss,
You
can you
know.
do me a quick favor? Could you rewind this clip? Here goes my mind again. Yeah. I want you to watch the movement entering into this dishwashing kitchen area just for a moment with me.
Talking about when they came in?
Yeah, when everybody came in and
Right.
how everybody was following each other in this area and then made that right cut into the dock area. I want you to notice body language here. Could you slow it down?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you see a white shirt. Oh, back it up a little bit more.
A little bit,
Yeah, because we see
Yep.
the right shoulder of someone standing in the lower right-hand corner into camera view while they are approaching the back dock area. I believe from that white shirt, it's telling me that it's the food and beverage manager.
Me too.
Here comes the front desk. Look at the lower left-hand corner
I'll pause it.
where that trash can is. See, white shirt,
I think
big.
that was the beverage manager.
Yeah.
Because of where he had supposedly when it got washed, he's already right there in that area. But again, that's one of the cameras that they told us didn't work.
Uh-huh.
But I do believe that's him. He saw him coming. Like he went and got washed. It might have been, where they walked in, they came back out, and maybe he was about to head that way. And then he saw them with the police walking toward him.
Mm-hmm.
like, oh shit, type of thing.
And this Where's Waldo looking motherfucker right here was smiling as he approached the camera.
I just saw that. I just saw that.
I'm like, what is you laughing? What you smiling for, bro? Ain't nothing funny right now.
Here comes the police supervisor. He looked up and saw that camera. Now they're going to the kitchen and watch this.
Look who's behind him.
Here he comes. Hands out.
With a little pep in his step. Look at that thing swinging around his neck. He got a little pep in his step.
Wonder why they need me back here. Walks in, freehand. It's called a freehand.
You gotta understand, he walked out of there or that area. I ain't gonna say out of there because we can't. We didn't see him, but he walked out of that area, 10, 15 minutes before the beverage manager supposedly found her. And if you go back to the statement that we highlighted, well, not the statement, but the Facebook post that we highlighted yesterday from, that we highlighted from Miss Teresa, she said that an employee was back there with her daughter for 2 hours. And
stop the video.
After he left out 10 minutes or so later is when the beverage manager found her. The only people we saw back here in this area was him. And the other dude that was in all black.
Yep.
Right. Now he has his hands in his pocket. And that's a closed position. Almost like it's a nervous position to have his hands in his pocket. Now, not free hand like he came in, but now he has his hands in his pocket. Almost, I'm trying to find the word, because it's a different body language. As Boss said, he was striding up in there.
He was. He had some pep in his step.
Y'all need me? Yeah. What time were you last in this area? 11 minutes after 12. And you didn't find what we just found?
Right.
No. Hence, maybe the reason they had to come back a second time. Just a thought. But this tells me that his entire demeanor changed here, because he had been back here 11 minutes after 12 minutes before they found her. And now he's got to walk out thinking, oh, shit, I didn't check that upper kitchen area. When it's his job to check these areas that we see him walking around in, especially this dishwasher kitchen area. You were back here. Well, yeah. And that camera in the dock area would have proved that he was back in that area too, had that camera been operable.
Right.
We would have seen him.
Yeah, we would have seen him. I think, when we covered that at the round table, it was like they needed that camera to be out. That camera was going to show all the movement. They couldn't chance that. I just feel like it wouldn't have allowed them to put this narrative together. Like, oh, she just walked in here and died. Like, no, that ain't how this went. That camera had to be down for them.
Because you got to ask yourself, what did he go back there for in the first place? What was he doing back there? Of course, we don't see him because there ain't no camera. Did he go in that kitchen? And that's why we don't see nothing but the cut parts where someone else went in there, like the maintenance guy, the beverage guy, and of course Kanika.
Yeah,
but
those.
Just like the maintenance guy said, the door was open a little bit more than it was the day before. So why we don't see who the hell opened that door and went in there? They ain't just open the door and say, "Hey, I want to hear an echo." No, they went in there.
They went in there. I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Real
And
talk.
then not only that, so we see the maintenance guy at what, about 8:30ish?
Yeah, close around that time.
Around 8:30ish.
Yeah, 8:24.
Yeah, and that's all they gave us. And
Mm-hmm.
what bothers me, that footage went from the maintenance guy to the beverage manager. That's it. But Teresa Lawyer is saying something different. Teresa is saying something different, which tells me, of course, which I mean, we can all assume is that they know more. They know more than we know.
Right.
But to make that statement, and it's like, okay, they said it was an unidentified employee back there at 10:30. We didn't see that. Nobody's on there. So either what? They cut these people out of it, or we looking in the wrong area entirely. I don't know. It's weird. But I do feel like the lawyer and Miss Teresa know more. They know.
Yeah. And 54, since you brought that point up, do you have those two Facebook posts that you have regarding what Teresa said regarding the time that she was under the impression regarding Kanika? Remember the two Facebook posts?
Oh
Because
yeah,
that's
what
where
was
we
that?
be.
10-14? Yeah.
Yeah, that 10. Yeah, that 1014. Could you just share that with us? For some of us following the case that may not have seen that particular piece of information, it gave us some detail there, and
Right.
it gave us concern to actually begin looking at an active camera in the area during that time that Teresa was talking about. We found some troubling things with the
Right.
dishwashing camera at around that time.
At around that time, which is why we focused on that.
Yeah.
Here, let me see if it's in
Yeah.
here.
And that was critical for us because it was like, okay, she's mentioning a specific time here, and the only camera we have to work with is the camera closest to the upper kitchen area. The dock
Right.
area camera's not there, so let's take a look at the dishwashing area and see what we can glean from that. And that's why we studied this area, because it was, very telling indeed, not only in the timestamp jumps, but for the employees and the activity in that kitchen during around the earlier time.
Right here. Hold on one second. I thought I had emailed it to you, but wait a minute.
Yeah. Oh. See if I can. KJ.
Oh, okay, here it is.
Uh-huh.
Oh, matter of fact, here, let me send them. I'm gonna send it to you so you'll have it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, then that way you'll have them. Hold on.
Beautiful. And we're still working on a very important part in this case.
Okay, there you go.
I believe we're getting close to an area in this case where we can begin to identify this. I just wanted to share this on tonight's special and exclusive live with Miss 54 Keyz, Mr. Boss Blake. The round table's work continues. And I appreciate the both of you taking time to jump up here with John Q on Table Talk and share your thoughts post session 5 in the blink of an eye on the round table. I appreciate the both of you for that.
Oh, no problem.
And yes, boss, go ahead.
No, I said no problem.
Okay, great. This is an area of focus that we're getting down to a point to, and that's Kanika's sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
The dirt on both sides of her sneakers. Where did this dirt come from? one of the main questions in the case.
Yeah.
And I think we're getting close to an area of where this dirt may have come from. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Kanika being outside. We discussed that to a degree on last night's live.
Right.
And most folks thought she may have went outside, because outside is pretty much a filthy area too. You know, that back area. I mean, it doesn't look clean. If you've seen some of the photos in the back of the employee entrance and the dock area.
Yep. And when you pull up that those posts from Mama T, she says that at some point when they had that meeting, the police told her that Kanika made it outside. How did they know that? Where did that come from?
Right.
They said that. Well, she said it, but she said they said that. How would they know that?
This
I
is
mean,
what
were they
they
just going by the dirt? Like what we're looking at now, were they just going
right.
by the dirt? But and when you look at the impressions, this is what me and Boss was going back and forth about when it came to these shoes. When you look at the impression, it's almost like her because at first I'm like, what left those impressions in on her shoe, from when they were dirty? But is that so like her shoes was laid in some dirt, but because of these impressions, it had that
Right.
look to it. I don't really know how to explain it, but there was this like a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
But that's clearly in the shoe.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah. And you notice too, it's not on all of the shoe, like the top where the tongue is, the shoestrings, the front area, front top. It's just
On the
right
side.
back
Yep.
here where her ankle would be. Up in this area here. Down the side, stops almost like if it's at an angle. Like her foot was at a specific angle because of the dirt portions. I can understand the lower base here in the front
Right.
and in the back touching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bingo. Exactly. That's like she was dragged.
Uh-huh.
She was dragged, and her foot was on the side. And
Where
that
she was laid in something,
Right.
where her foot was to the side.
And so this angle here and the dirt impressions stopping at a certain point on the shoe, angled down, now we go to the heel, tells me that only just a certain portion of her foot was planted somewhere or just laid somewhere, more so than the front. We're going to be getting into a lot of details about this because once again, Kanika, our belief is that she was placed in that freezer, one of her sneakers being off and one stayed on. The other one that was off, the first one I showed you, looked more so like if this one was tossed opposite her body with one shoe off. Being the right shoe and her right foot having that injury on the ankle and on the blade of the just above the blade of the foot.
And that's what me and the ladies was just talking about. Her right side was bruised up. She was bruised up on that right side. But I think for me to know when you're looking at this sneaker right here, that's the inside of the shoe. You understand what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. This is the interior part of
the interior part, right?
Yeah.
And that's just weird to me.
And we see the dirt placement in specific areas. We'll be able to outline this a little bit better once we go to work. Now we have the front of this shoe. We saw the left, but now this shoe has got dirt impressions on the front. More dirt impressions on the interior part of the shoe. And we'll be able to detail that dirt Now we've got it higher in this area and on the front toe area here, big toe area of the inner portion of that shoe here.
I mean, and it looked like, I mean, wouldn't that suggest that maybe she was laid on her right side with both shoes on, maybe? You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't explain how the one shoe, came off, but just the fact that the dirt is on the inside portion of the shoe makes me think she was laid on that side. Maybe the way her feet was positioned. You know, I don't know. I don't know,
Right.
but this always bothered me.
Right.
But what I do know is her right side was bruised up.
Oops. Let me do this real quick. And I just got your email. That's what I wanted to get to, that posting we covered. Let me bring it up. Okay. And thank you so much for sending me the shoe pictures. And I said, okay, we've got something to analyze here and start to take a look at angles, patterns, and dirt.
412 said definitely drag marks. That's possible. That's possible. And then, I think when we go back to the whole her being, being drugged somewhere, when you go back to that footage of those two guys behind the front desk, in that little area, and he had that like dragging motion. It just all made sense to me.
Mm-hmm. And what I've just pulled up is that piece of information that took us to the dishwashing area, especially the time. And this is a post that Teresa Martin had made on Facebook. Please read this article. I believe they didn't even try to save my baby, 100. Allegedly. Kanika was found 9/9/2017 at 10:14. Now that's an incredible
She's very
time
specific.
difference.
Yeah, she's very specific. I mean, she could have said around 10:15, round 10. She said no, 10:14. And so that's what when I brought up the whole watching the dishwasher footage, that was one of the time frames I wanted to watch. I'm like, well, that's what we need to be looking for. And remember, we noticed that it skipped in the dishwasher room
Yes.
at that
This
very
is
time.
where we had trouble in that
Mhm.
time frame.
Yep.
And hence they didn't want us to see something in that area at this particular time. Because we had 1, 2, 3, and the third one was a major time skip
Mhm.
at that
So
time. We were waiting in the parking lot before and after. I never heard or seen any ambulance or sirens and or when the fire department pulled up. Before I guess y'all had found Kanika's body, you stated that y'all called them in to help y'all search for Kanika. Now here's a true statement she makes here. And I said, what? What was my baby's true cause of death? Because she didn't believe the hypothermia story. That's for sure.
yep. She didn't believe it. No.
No, that wasn't working for her. Or the dipyramate. Now she okay if she drank okay, but she ain't believing that her daughter walked in that freezer voluntarily of her own volition.
And the fact that, like I said, she was very specific about the time. She said at 10:14. So it made me feel like, we needed to be watching the footage at 10:14.
Mhm.
Like, no, true enough, we didn't know the area, but because of where they found her, we thought the dishwasher footage would be like John said, the next best thing. And it skipped. But she was very specific. And then this.
Oh
So
yeah.
if she want us to believe that her daughter was found at 10:14, she says that there was an employee in the kitchen. Kanika was found that Kanika was found in. She said for 2 hours or so, that employee came out. Kanika didn't. And then 10 minutes after that, another employee who we all know to be the beverage manager came in and found Kanika. So was she talking about the area of the upper kitchen? I mean, to me, that's what it said. That's what she's saying because we seen the beverage manager go into the upper kitchen to find her. 10 minutes after whoever was back there with her came out. And when we watched that dishwasher footage, there was two employees that we seen around that time. That was that one dude in all black and the security guard. That's it. That's it. So maybe we need to watch because we know that there's another entrance into that kitchen near what I forgot what hallway we were in. Remember when custom we you pulled back up the map and took us through the double doors to into that restaurant.
Right.
What if
Right.
somebody came out of there and didn't go through the dishwasher room?
Right. From the
We
manning room,
probably need to
from the
study
restaurant.
that
Yeah.
footage around the
Mhm.
same time frame.
Yep.
Hmm.
We went to a meeting. It was stated to us, and at some point, Kanika got out of Crown Plaza's doors,
Mm-hmm.
meaning that she was outside of the Crown Plaza. One of our forever questions are how the hell she got back in the Crown Plaza 100 and where is the footage?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want us to y'all want us to believe this? See? But God, J for K for life, 100.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we
And
are
then
about
when you
to.
think about the lawyer statement where he, we got her being specific as far as the 1014, but in the lawyer statement, he said that again, he said an unidentified employee around 10:30 inadvertently locked her in there. And again, we don't see it on the footage. Where are they getting that? It it just makes me I mean, I know they know more, but it makes me feel like maybe, I mean, are we not looking in the right area? I mean, because what they're putting out here is just not on the footage that we're focused on. It's not.
Right. And that's what we'll be looking into and
Mhm.
continuing our work on the roundtable, looking at all these different additional pieces of evidence and information and getting them fine tuned to bring to the roundtable, to bring to you. This is all for Kanika.
That's it.
Absolutely. So we are at a time point in the live. We're 2 hours and 20 minutes in. And I don't want to hold you guys because I know we got to have a meeting.
Yeah.
We're going back to work, folks.
Mhm.
And but I truly appreciate Ms. 54 Keyz, Mr. Bossman Blake for making time out of a tight schedule
Oh man.
all last week, and part of the week before uh, to put together session 5. If you have not seen it, please go to 54 Keyz' channel. Session 5 is posted. I got it in my playlist. I know Boss has got it in his playlist. We're all three of us keeping a separate playlist for every session that we do. So if you go to any one of our channels, you can always find the roundtable sessions in its entirety, complete, moving forward.
Yep.
Moving forward.
Mhm.
So I want to thank the both of you once again for joining us for a special roundtable Q&A with the roundtable tonight.
No problem.
It's been awesome working with you guys, and um, I'm just delighted that we can make specific time to have time together like this
Yeah.
to talk to
Absolutely.
folks. To let them know that if you got questions and comments, we're gonna take our time out to do just that. Interact with you.
Right.
Absolutely. So thank you. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm going to wrap things up. I will see you guys. Are we going back to your house, boss, or are we going back to your house, 54, for our meeting?
It don't matter to me.
54 makes more sense to me.
Always has, always will.
Man, it's a go.
Yeah.
It's a go. Y'all get you know y'all got keys. It's cool. I meet y'all back there.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Well, I'll see you all in a few.
All
Yep,
right,
much love to the chat.
one
We
love.
riding, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Bossman Blake and Miss 54 Keyz from the round table. Thank y'all. Wow. And thank everyone for joining us tonight for a special edition of Table Talk. I knew this was going to be a table talk I wanted to do, especially after completing 5 sessions. We're moving towards session 6. We don't know when it's going to actually be posted. We're working on a timeline right now, working on new pieces of information, new evidence that we've been able to locate in this case. One of those pieces, one of the important pieces that we're carefully looking at are the sneakers, as I showed you before, because that evidence has to lead to a location and a place or places. And we'll be able to hone down and identify where those places are because of the placement in the freezer. That child was moved and placed in the freezer. And where did she come from before then? Where were her shoes? Where was Kanika before then? So that's what we're going to be targeting in our next upcoming roundtable session, session 6. You don't want to miss that. Please subscribe to Mr. Bossman's Blake channel, Miss 54 Keyz' channel. Stay in tune with my channel. You don't want to miss Table Talk or any special lives that I may do during the course of the week. I am coming back live. We're going to be doing some updates on several of the cases that I've been keeping a close eye on. One of those cases being the West case. We had found out that they pushed that case up to January, trial date to January 30th, because the defense attorneys, they're not prepared. They're not prepared to deal with the Orrin and Orson West case, aka Classic and Sincere, the California City boys that went missing and apparently, allegedly at this point, lost their lives due to the adoptive parents' negligence, abuse, and possibly murder. But we'll be riding on that case very tight. Breonna Taylor's case I've been carefully looking at. Breonna Greer, we're going to be doing a follow-up with Mr. Bossman Blake on that case, the young lady who was taken into custody by police, put in the police patrol car, handcuffed, and fell out of the car while the car was in motion, and the officer didn't know it. Ha! You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. I did speak about coming back to do a special live on the Kylie Rodden case. I mentioned that I do have the full, complete 18-page autopsy report. I'm still making time to go through that report thoroughly. I already found time discrepancies in the incident report itself. I haven't gone through the actual autopsy or toxicology. I'm working my way through it. In the meantime, I'm going, to the roundtable conference meetings that we've been doing to put together all of the content we've been doing for the roundtable. So yeah, John Q is busy. John Q is busy, and you know why I do it? Because every single one of you that make a contribution to my channel, being a supporter, as a subscriber, supporter, viewer, my mods, Miss Justice, Miss Aquahoma, Miss Leslie B, Carol Smith, and the supporters of the Roundtable. That's why we do it. We do it for you. We're doing it for Kanika and this particular special work that we're doing. And hopefully we'll get some news from Teresa Martin soon about where her case is going. And hopefully we get a trial date for that. In the meantime, everyone take care of yourself. You'll be seeing me on the streets, that's for sure. And thank you. Thank you all for making Table Talk and, of course, the channel a major success when it comes to presenting content, such as the content you've been seeing. Much love to you all. And thank you. And come on, John Q. I hear you. Y'all hold it down. Be tight. Stay tight. And be well and stay blessed with Godspeed. Until next time, I'll see you on Table Talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to John Q's Table Talk. Let's go. Here at Table Talk, everybody's opinions matter, because we only here for one reason, and that's the truth. Cue the truth. So many cases we've been facing, so many kids that have been taken. You got ours and you got on. Some of wells I just can't take it. Never see John hesitate. A hard to go you can't replace. So Table Talk gon' be the place where we break down all the basics. You don't need no reservation, open mind, a little face. That's why we work another case. Kids go missing every day. We know the news, they do they thing, but John gon' come through in the pain. But this is a show for all of us, so let us know just what you think. For Table Talk.